year here. So any questions related to the team, direct those to Will. And I am the men's basketball contact, Tom Weber, so direct men's contact questions to me. At this time, I'd like to turn things over to Coach Stein. She'll make an opening statement and then take your questions. Coach?
Good afternoon, and appreciate everyone being here. I got a phone call last night from Coach Henson, and this is what happens when coaches have too much time. We were thinking all of the different parodies that we could do if I dressed up like Hillary Clinton and he dressed up like Donald Trump and did our press conference like that. But we felt like we better just stick to the basketball script. But I appreciate you being here. We're very excited about the year. Obviously, the number one question this time of year is how are you gonna be? And when you look at that and you reflect upon, we had the first 20-win season in 9 years last year. We had 4 tremendous seniors, 2 of them that got good playing time and were tremendous leaders, and then 2 others that leave this place all-time leading scorer, steals, assists, rebounder, minutes played, and those other 2. One's playing professionally in Finland. So we lose a big chunk of the foundation that we've been really building upon the last 3 years. And when you're building a program, obviously having that kind of leadership is always so important. So now we enter a new year with a lot of new faces. We are dealing with episodes of renovation realities in the fact that it can get a little ugly at times because you got to get everyone on the same page. Half of our team are freshmen and sophomores. So that's a little bit different than we've had to deal with in a while. But it's also very exciting because I think we have improved our athleticism. We still have tremendous talent that is returning, but we will need some of our youth, and when I say some, a lot of our youth, to step up and be able to play right away for us to be as successful as we believe we can be. But a lot of things have to go right. We do feel we have really good leadership. We picked our captains already. Rashonda Napier, Carly Corrigan, and Kylie Gabelhausen will be leading our teams through the captain position. I feel very good about them. They're just outstanding leaders. They're all vocal. They're stepping up to the plate. They work hard. So they're leading by example as well. Probably our most improved player at this point, honestly, is Kylie Gabelhausen. I feel like she's come back ready to step up in so many ways. Her ball handling's improved, just her leadership on the floor. She's talking more. I think that everyone here has always told me how shy they think Kylie is. So I think that you're going to see a different Kylie out there on the floor with their leadership, and that definitely helps us. But I also think that you're going to see some tremendous players. I think our youth is good. We're excited that Tiajane Hawkins is back full strength. She was a medical redshirt for us last year, so she has all 4 years left. So you could basically say we have 6 freshmen because she wasn't able to practice due to that injury. So, but we're really excited about this. This is a group that brings good size, brings good quickness. They're all tremendous scorers. We got 1,000-point scorers, all state players. So when you look at everybody on paper, it looks good. Now, what do we have to do to be good? We've got to have those youth. They've got to step up. Their energy's got to be better every day. We're a little inconsistent in that. And honestly, we got to get them to play with confidence and some swag because the Valley's tough. And we got to make sure our first game is against Oklahoma, who we have a lot of respect for. But we need to go in there with some swag and belief and confidence. And that's what we're gearing up for. We're going on our 9th practice today. So, it's still young. And that's a good thing, but the bad thing is that we play our first exhibition in a couple weeks. So we got to gear up and be ready. So we're very excited about that. But we're really looking for the year. We also have a new addition to our staff. As many of you know, Andrea Gorski, who is my associate head coach, is now the head coach at Bradley, so we'll be facing her. And then we have hired Nicole Collier, who is a tremendous player in her I called it a long time ago, but she'll probably get mad at that. But she was a great player, but she was a very good coach as well, coming from Lincoln University, and really have enjoyed having her on the staff. And then I did promote Christelle and Garcinet to associate head coach. So those are some staff changes as well. But I like to open it up at this time for questions.
You got Oklahoma, Purdue, UAB, and Memphis. Would this be one of your toughest?
Can you tell that Andrea Gorski did our scheduling last year, and now she's at Bradley? Can you tell that? Honestly, Oklahoma game was supposed to be a year ago, but we had the option of being able to go the preseason NIT, so we had to move the Oklahoma game, and obviously they worked really well with us to do that. So having Oklahoma and Purdue, honestly, in the first 2 weeks, we can't lose sight, obviously, of Murray State in that mix because they're squeezed in between those. We've got to be ready for all three, but it's a challenging schedule. There's not a team on that schedule. I feel like that's a win for sure. I think that we're going to have to work hard every game.
You have a lot of forward centers. Do you feel like you have a true five like Diana played?
Yes, our 5 spot I'm really excited about. I think Ashley Hummel, a sophomore, is playing really well right now. We've got to continue to get her confidence up because I think she plays better that way. But Nicole Martin and Lauren Hartman, 2 freshmen, have been doing a really good job down low. I know that a lot of us like to turn around and hang out around that 3-point arc, but I really do feel like we have a true center if we need it to be.
What about the possibility of playing 5 guards, Cindy, or playing somebody like Kylie who play kind of a guard forward? Do you have a lot of those type of players? Feel like?
I believe we have the ability to play big. I think we have the ability to play small, and something in between. In fact, we've been tweaking in our heads. Our kids don't know this yet, but we've been talking about different things, especially defensively, to use with various lineups, whether it's going with a big lineup and doing something, or going with a smaller lineup and doing something different, so that we can change our defenses up a little bit more.
And what kinds of things do you ask from Rashonda? It's played a time, but has kind of a different roster.
Rashonda, what I love about Rashonda is the fact that I don't have to ask her to do anything. She already does it. And that's what's great about having someone at that position that's a returning first-team all-conference player, is that she knows that she's got to work hard every day. She's doing a really good job leading the freshmen and being a tutor to them, and not just a tutor, a mentor, but her ball handling's really solid. I mean, she's been a one-team or a one-person press breaker, the last few years, which has been awesome. Her shooting looks good and always has. I think that we might play her a little bit more at an off-guard position than we did last year. We didn't do that at all, to free her up some time where she doesn't have to handle the ball all the time and get her some better looks for some shots. And I think she's handling that role better. She just has such a better overall concept of the entire play, not just her part in it. And I think that her basketball IQ obviously helps in that way.
So if she's an off guard, who would you move to point, or do you really call them point guards anymore, or do they just move around?
We've got several kids that can play point guard. Livy Bowling, who's a sophomore, is playing really well. Brittany Patrick, a freshman, is playing really well there. And Chris Nelson, another freshman, has the ability to play point or off guard. So we actually have the ability to move all those kids all at any of the guard spots. So there could be a time when we have 2 to 3 point guards, if you want to call them that, on the floor.
You're not redshirting anybody this year?
The plan is not to redshirt anybody. You never know. I hate to say that we won't. I think that you always eyeball that a little bit if somebody's a little bit further behind in their development. I think that sometimes you look to do that. But honestly, the way we want to play, we know that we're going to need a good number of kids to be able to, play that up-tempo, that really hard-nosed, tough defense that we want to make sure that we're putting in.
So what kind of impact do you think that Nelson and Patrick will have for you this year?
Well, I would tell you that I hoped good ones. Nelson is probably coming along a little faster in the fact that I think she's picking up all the schemes a little bit. She works really hard. She's very coachable. I think Brittany will get there. I think Brittany's got the toughest position because it's the point guard position. She's got a lot to remember. She's got a lot to communicate. She's got a lot to talk. And just that part, she's a little quiet right now, and we've got to get her a lot louder, a lot more confident in what she's doing because she's the leader. And she's going to get there. But like I say, she's 9 days into her, practice. So we can't expect miracles right now, but I think she'll get there.
And what do you think your strengths will be defensively?
Say that again.
What do you think your defensive strengths will be this year?
Our defensive strengths, I think, I hope it to be rebounding. I mean, obviously missing Diana Pierre, who was a double-double every game. Our kids know that we really have to put a lot of emphasis on our rebounding. So I really like the way we're attacking the boards. I think we're a lot more aggressive. I feel like our kids are on the floor more for loose balls. That scrappiness, I think, is important. I think we're good shooters. That's one thing I've really liked about this team is the fact that I feel like we can score. We can score at any position. But we also have to, it's like our young kids have to grow up quickly because they got to take care of the ball. And that's probably our weakness is we're not taking care of the ball like we need to. And then sometimes that's youth. They're just throwing the ball all around. So we got to have a better sense of urgency there. But I like this group. I think this group can be really, really exciting. But we do need those freshmen to step up and become sophomores and juniors really quick.
And Carly had a nice jump, her junior year. What tells you she's going to have another jump like that?
Yeah, Carly is just one of those kids that she just works hard all the time. She's a great leader. I've teased her this year that she actually looks like an athlete this year. Just in the fact she's spent a lot of time in the weight room. She's just always kind of been this skinny kid out there that was a great three-point shooter. And she's, gotten her game a lot better. She's taken the ball to the basket better with better decisions. She's taking good shots. She's just much stronger this year. And she's a lot more confident as well. And I think that helps her as well.
And how do you fit in the Valley this year?
How do we fit in the Valley? That's a great question. Obviously, I feel like we're a top-tier team, but we have yet to prove that. There's too many good coaches and players in this league to underestimate anybody. But I definitely think that we can challenge for the Valley title. A lot of things have to go right for us to do that. And I think that we definitely have that potential.
How did you like the jump from St. Louis to the Quad Cities to the tournament? Tell the truth.
It's interesting. That's a question about going from St. Charles to the Quad Cities. I love the location of St. Charles, but I absolutely love it in the Quad Cities because the Quad Cities, the people there have been awesome. The support we get there from the people in that community has been overwhelming. We've really enjoyed being there. It's a great facility. Our hotels are they're very good as far as location and being stone's throw away from the arena, so your kids can go catch other games. There's lots to do down there, so we've enjoyed it. I personally like it. Plus, we finally won a game in the tournament, so I like that even better. So hopefully that will continue. We'll stay a lot longer every year.
It looks like, from just a little bit I've seen of practice, it looks like Kylie could be a little bit stronger too this year. You don't really laugh at that?
I believe that as well. I think Kylie looks good. It's interesting when you talk about girls, you can't say, yeah, she's, filled out a little bit because girls don't like to hear that. But she looks stronger, yes. I think she looks a lot more solid. I think what's been great is that she's been taking it to the basket a little bit more and being able to absorb contact and still get a good shot off. And those are some things that are always exciting because everyone thinks of her as just a great three-point shooter. And now she's adding other elements to her game, and I think that she'll continue to do that, and she gets better with it as she gets stronger.
Hawkins was a real raw talent before getting injured last year. What was the recovery like for the shoulder? saying or anything about?
Yeah, she's pretty much full go. I don't think she thinks about it at all. I mean, but that's a 6-month recovery that she had to go through, so that was a long time. And she worked on a lot of different things at that time, with her conditioning or her ball handling and stuff. And I think that just the more reps that she gets in practice, she's just going to get better and better. I think right now she's doing a great job of getting on the boards. You know, she's always been a really good rebounder, a very natural rebounder. Now she's figuring out what's a good shot, what's not a good shot. And I think her timing is just going to get better and better. Are we good?
Any more questions for Coach Stein? Okay.
Thanks, Coach.
All right. Thanks for coming.